Inside Out with Adam and Kim, only on CJLO 1690 AM.
But there is outrage this morning. A Muslim immigrant was expelled from her school for refusing to show her face to her class. The Minister of Immigration kicked the woman out of Cégep Saint-Laurent when she was taking a beginner's French class for immigrants last November, after accommodations made by students and the teacher became unbearable. At first, she wanted to work separately from the class, which was fine. Everyone thought that was fine. She decided to wear a niqab, which is a head veil showing only the eyes. The teacher agreed, and when she brought the woman to the corner, the woman took off her headscarf, and they had a private tutorial session. When it came time for a class public speaking, the woman asked to do the oral backside facing towards the class, basically turned around, so that no men would be staring at her during the class. The final straw, however, came when the class was in a U-shape for a discussion, and the Egyptian woman asked for 3 men sitting in front of her to turn around. The woman actually has now filed a complaint with the Human Rights Commission in Quebec. So they're still determining if that was a fair thing to do and if the woman should be compensated or allowed back in. But I want to know what you think. Do you think they should let the woman back into class and let her continue on with this?
I think they should let her back in, as long as they explain to her, like, okay, we gave you what you wanted. We had the boys turn around. You know, you were able to face the other way while you were giving your oral, which mustn't have made it very hard to hear her. But anyway.
Well, especially when she has a veil on, first thing.
Exactly, and she's facing the opposite way. It must have been very hard to hear that presentation. Anyhow, I think that they should let her back in, but let her know, like, we gave you what you wanted, and that wasn't good enough, so now you're either going to follow our rules, or then, yeah, if it doesn't work for you, leave. Sorry. You know what? You asked for too much, you're out. You're gone.
This class is for immigrants to our country who are learning to speak French, because that's a mandatory fact in Quebec. But I think beyond the French education that they're getting from this class, they're also getting culture. They're being educated in culture. And if they can't adapt to that culture, then maybe they shouldn't be in the class. Maybe they shouldn't even be coming to this country. Now, I don't want to sound harsh, but if she can't have men who are sitting a couple of feet away from her look at her in the classroom, how is she going to manage in the streets? How is she going to buy groceries? How is she going to go take a book out from the library? And the answer is she'll probably be married to a man who will not let her do that. She'll probably be stuck at home feeding the kids and not be allowed in public. So then I'm wondering, why should we allow this charade to go on? Why should we let this happen? The whole point of the class is to integrate her into Quebec society, into our culture, into Canada's culture. Mm-hmm. And if she keeps on bringing up the past, she won't integrate, and there's just no point in the class. She can learn French all she wants, but if she doesn't become accustomed to our culture, there's no point.
Yeah, it's like, why are you here?
Well, I mean, that's the big debate, but people are saying, no, we're a multicultural society. It's in our constitution that we have to be accommodating of everyone's religious beliefs, everyone's cultural beliefs. But when does it become too far? And I'm thinking,
I think it becomes too far now in this situation.
No, but also I'm thinking, we were in this space 70 years ago when women were infantilized by men, where they were kept in the corner, left at home. They weren't allowed to think beyond a certain level. And I don't think we should go back there. And if we start letting this culture develop here, then we're putting ourselves back. We need to move forward. And if they're not willing to move forward, then they have to leave. It's either I say bring your culture, but leave the attitude. Seriously, you have to you have to leave that mentality at home, because you can bring your culture. We love culture, but we can't have this mentality where women are shunned in society and men take over. That's not what Canada's about. And if they can't integrate into that aspect of our society, then they shouldn't be here. I don't think it was unfair to expel her, by the way.
I think they should let her in if she agrees to, like, abide by our rules. Like, if, like, in any class, if you have an oral presentation, if you were asked, like, you know what, I'm uncomfortable, can I say my presentation from my seat? That's not allowed. You have to get up and stand up in front of everyone like everyone else. So if she's not going to be like everyone else, then stay home.
Well, the teacher was saying in the article in La Presse broke this story, a great story. The teacher was having this class so that people could learn to communicate with each other. The whole point of the class is that people speak openly to one another so that you can have the same context in the outside world. So you can bring that communication to the exterior world.
Yeah.
And if she's not talking to anyone in the class, what are you learning? You can read French all you want. You can examine it all you want. You can practice it in your head. But if you don't speak to someone, it's not a language. A language is something spoken between two people. And if she's not going to speak it in an open context, if she's learning phrases like, can I take out this book from the library, and she never goes to the library, what's the point? And there's also discussion of what we should allow based on headscarves and garments. Because she was wearing a niqab. And a niqab is something that only shows the eyes. It's a headscarf, so it's not full body, that it only shows the slit of the eyes. There's also a hijab, which is a headscarf that shows the whole face, which is what we see most modern Muslim women wearing. Mm-hmm. And then there's the burqa, which is something that we see in the Middle East a lot. That's the full body outfit that only shows the slit of the eyes. Mm-hmm. So, first of all, we don't see many women in Quebec with burqas. I think there was a stat out that there was like 200 of them or something, or less, of women in Quebec that wear burqas.
Really?
Full body
That's
suits.
it? I don't know. I see quite a few of them walking around, especially in Saint
Where?
Laurent.
Really? I don't think I've ever seen a full... No, I'm talking like head to toe.
Yeah.
Full body suit.
Yeah, even when I'm taking the bus to go to work, I see them get up on the bus.
France has actually banned the public wearing of burqas, which is the long full body outfit, showing only the slit of the eyes. They've banned it in public buildings. So in France now, you're not allowed to wear a burqa in a hospital. Mm-hmm. You're not allowed to wear it in a library. No public buildings.
Well, no, yeah, I agree with it. You're in the public.
You're permitted. You're also disallowing the religious freedom. Like, we know that. It's really a debate of religious. Are you pro religious freedom, or are you pro modernization in society? Too bad for your religion.
I don't know. It's tricky.
But that's the other thing about religion. I think religion has to be adaptable, because if you look at the big religions, they have adapted from their original texts.
The big religions.
Well, no, I'm not talking about
religion.
Scientology. I mean, like Christianity, Judaism, Islam. Most of them have adopted this modern version of it, because when you look at the Bible, right? You know the Bible. It's a big book.
I've heard of it, yes.
Yes. When you look at the Bible, there are so many laws that we wouldn't follow today that you'd be stoned for. Mm-hmm. That if you follow those laws, so you kind of have to interpret a book or a religion in your own context. We're not going to stone someone because they mix linen and fleece or whatever that stupid mixture is in the Bible that they have. There's a law in the Bible that says that if you mix two fabrics together, that's a sin, essentially. And people wear suits like that all the time. So we're not stoning them. So it's just curious that some things have modernized and other things haven't. And I think you can have your religion and eat it too. Right?